Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of my Feed the Beast Horizons pack. As you can see from the last episode, I've got the IndustrialCraft dungeon completely ripped open, and actually didn't have to take the entire cover off. I opened it up like this and there was pretty much no mobs in there. There was like one wisp that I managed to kill with an arrow, and then just a couple skeletons popped up, and I took care of them pretty easily. So got a couple good things out of it. Nothing, too major. Some thaumium ingots, thaumium sword. So got some nether quartz as well. So kind of neat. All right. So this episode, like I said, we're going to build the Smeltery for Tinker's Construct. And I've got a bunch of seared bricks made up. Tried to kind of get a pretty good idea on what exactly I was going to need as far as materials goes. And I forgot that I need an axe. Mine just broke recently. So let me go ahead and make a new axe really quick. Started using steel for a lot of stuff. Really easy to use steel recipe. That comes in really handy. Steel is supposed to have the efficiency of diamonds, but not the durability. So, works pretty good for it. Alright, but I want to put the smeltery back here. And the smeltery is going to have, it's a 3x3 base, so the whole thing is a world construct. So you, bunch of different pieces that you put together in the world, and it forms its structure. Alright, first thing we need is a bunch of these seared bricks. The seared brick blocks. Now it says I only got one, but actually I have 16. That was something it did in the previous versions. I'm surprised they haven't fixed that yet. But what we're going to do is put 9 blocks down here. You can build it up right flat on the surface if you want, but because of the way it constructs, I really like to start at one level underneath, and then I'm going to have 4 walls around it, so it's going to be a 3x3 area in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and make more of these. The way I figured this out, it should end up 4 rows high. So I'll be able to smelt quite a bit of stuff at one time if I want to. Should end up with 72, somewhere around there. Alright, so we're going to start like that. A couple other things we need to make with this, the key things that really make this whole thing work. If we look up Tinker's Construct, in here, we're going to see a lot of the pieces that we need right here. It's going to be a seared tank, and the other one's going to be a Smeltery Controller. Those are like really the key elements that we're going to need to have. So the controller is just bricks in the shape of a chest, and then the tank is the same thing with a piece of glass in the center. So we're going to go ahead and make 2 rings like that with 1 piece of glass, and that'll give us both the tank and the smeltery. And I want to go ahead and put the controls on this side. You put them anywhere you want. They have to be on the controller and the tank have to be on the same level. But they can be on any level of the smeltery from my understanding. Alright, so I'm going to put that there, and then put that there, and then I also want to make a bunch of seared windows. Let's see, give me that one back. Make 2 of these here. Now these are going to allow us to see into here. They're going to allow us to see into here, see what's going on. The other thing I want to do at this level is create my output, which for that we're going to need a drain like that. So it's 2 rows of 3. And I want 2 of these drains, and I'll show you why in a little bit. That is the right way. So you see they've got one small side and one large side. The large side is the interior, so that's where basically it's going to funnel everything out. Then the other thing we need to have is some faucets. And these are actually going to let the materials drain. Let's see, there we go. There's going to be 2 of these. The faucets go right on the outside of the drains, like that. And then underneath those, I'm going to have 2 things. First one's going to be a casting basin. This is going to allow to pour blocks. So when you've got molten material inside, you right click on the faucet and it's going to fill this up with, you know, a block of whatever type of metal you've got in there, which is pretty handy. And then we've got a casting table, which you're going to use this for creating single pieces, whether it's an ingot or pickaxes, you know, pickaxe parts or hammer parts, whatever you need, you know, all kinds of various things. And now we want to continue building this up. Let's see, I'm going to want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more glass pieces if I can make them, which I think I can. Should be 30 bricks. Yep, we got enough for that. There we go. Alright, so we're going to have, let's go ahead and just climb up here. Go ahead and make solid sides with glass in the center, just so we can see what's going on in there. Like that, and that, and that. And there we go. Now if we click on this controller, this is your controls for the smeltery. Each one of these blocks is going to be a block of iron, or a block of ore that you're going to smelt, or ingots, or whatever you want to smelt. And this can hold 9 per level, so this one can hold 72. And then this one down here is going to hold lava, which it should be fine. It's not going to spit out or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about it catching the floor on fire. Now, that's the actual smeltery. Now, the other pieces we have for this are going to be these tool stations and part builders, pattern chest, and stencil table. And for that, probably going to need more wood than what I've got here. So let me, and I also want to grab some lava to show you what we got going on here. So give me a minute to gather some more materials. Okay, I'm still gathering materials, but I came out to get some lava, and I want to show you something really neat in this mod pack. With thermal expansion, I have these portable tanks we can use. These are really simple. They're just 4 pieces of glass and a copper ingot. Now, because they're portable, once we put liquids in them, they'll remain in there while we take the tanks with us. So I can go ahead and fill these up with lava. Alright, there we go. All 4 of these are full now. So we should just be able to break these with a regular pick, just like that. And it's saying it's empty. Huh. Alright, lesson learned. Apparently I need to get a wrench to be able to break these without losing them. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this one up. And then head back to my base and get a wrench, or at least look up what I need to do to be able to pick these tanks up and take them with me. So as you can see, I too learn as I play. Unfortunately, don't know everything off the bat, though. But it's part of the fun. Alright, there we go. Alright, gonna head back, grab a wrench or whatever it is I need to have, and then be back. Alright, here we go. What we need is this Crescent Hammer right here. Very easy to make. It's simply... oh, that's what I can turn it into. Where's the recipe? There it is. 3 iron ingots and a tin ingot. Simply like that. Gives you the Crescent Hammer. And then a simple shift and right click. Just pops the tank right up for us. And there we go. 4 tanks of lava. Going back to the base. Okay, and here we are back again. Now we've got these 4 portable tanks. And I'm going to set these right here. I'm not sure how easy I'm going to be able to pump these out of here. You know, obviously I don't have a whole lot of stuff built yet. And kind of limited on materials. And I should be able to... Yep. I can use just a bucket to scoop it out. So that'll get us started. Alright. So now this is going to fill up. It says... Why does it not count a full bucket in there? It says we've got a little less than 4 buckets in here for some reason. Not sure why. And this is only saying 850. So could be just an issue with the way it's counting. Alright. More materials. Gonna grab a whole bunch of wood here. Because we need to make these other tables and everything. They should all require wood except for one of them, which is going to need 4 blocks of iron, which I don't have at this point. Let's see. I know we need a bunch of sticks. So let's grab sticks. And we're going to make a whole bunch of these. They're called blank patterns. I'm going to be using quite a few of these. So, it's, okay, well there's 6 for now. That's a start. So the things that we need here, if we look up Tinker's Construct again, the first thing we need is a stencil table, because we need to be able to make the patterns, the stencils that we need to have. So that's going to be just a blank pattern and a piece of wood. So let's go ahead and just grab some of this, turn it into planks. So blank pattern, piece of wood, gives us a stencil table. Alright, now as soon as we did that, we earned this book, this Materials in You. Tinker's Construct is really nice because they give you these manuals as you're doing stuff. We also got this mighty smelting one when building the smeltery. And you look through them, they'll give you all sorts of information on how everything works and different types of stuff you can make. So we've got a stencil table. We need the pattern chest is what we want, and that should be just a regular chest and a blank pattern. So let's go ahead and make the chest and a blank pattern. Gives us that one. Now we need, let's see, tool station and part builder. I know we need both of these. So that's going to be a log and a blank pattern. Like that. And that. The part builder and the tool station. So that's a crafting table and a blank pattern. And there's the wood. Okay. Crafting table. Blank pattern. Right there. Tool station. Now the other one we're going to need eventually is this tool forge. Now this requires a tool station. This is the one with the 4 blocks of iron and then 3 seared bricks. And yeah, we do have enough seared bricks, which is excellent. And let's see. 4 blocks of iron. I believe we might have, yeah, we should have enough iron. It's just not cooked up yet. So I've got it in here. So we're going to need 27, right? I believe that's the right math. 9, 18, 27. Yep. All right. So let's make that an even 32, because that's divisible by 8, which is how many will get cooked up in each one of these in a turn. So let's go 8. 8 there. Take the tin out. 8 in that one, and 8 in that one. Alright, let that cook up for a quick second. And certainly you notice what I did was the fact that I planned on 3 blocks, not 4. So I just threw some more iron in here to make up the rest of what we need. And right here, let's see. 4 blocks of iron. Excellent. Go ahead and throw these in there. Let's head back next door. Oh, and it's getting dark. Just slide in here nice and quiet like nobody knows we're here. Alright, now we need, let's see. Let's start putting some of this stuff down. We're going to be pouring stuff out here, so let's work on it over here. We have the stencil table and pattern chest. Then we're going to have the part builder, which should be the next one, right? Yep, because this automatically connects to the pattern chest, which makes it very handy. Actually, I think I want to move these just a little bit here. Let's kind of pull them out. Put the, that was the stencil table, yep, okay. Then we'll put the pattern chest kind of in the corner like that. The part builder and the tool station. So this will allow me to construct tools, basic types of tools. And the, let's see, this one, the tool forge, this will allow me to craft more complex tools. So what we're going to do is actually take this one up and use it, because this is actually an upgrade for it. So I can use it in place of the standard tool station. Now we can place that there. Now we can make even more items. And some of these items, these hammers and lumber axes stuff, are really awesome because they do like ranged type stuff, which is going to be exactly what we need for some of this stuff. Now any patterns that we want to make using metal or anything poured out of the smeltery is going to need to have a cast. In order to do that, we need to have a pattern first. So I'm just going to go ahead and make all the patterns, and then I'll show you how to make the casts. Okay, here we go. Got all the patterns made. Now, a lot of these patterns I'll never use, probably, but you never know. Just like to go ahead and make them, get them all done with. That way I've got them in case I need them. Now, the next step we need to do is make these casts. A cast is made using either molten gold or aluminum brass. If you use gold, it takes 2 ingots to make 1 cast, and aluminum brass is only 1. And seeing as how I don't have a lot of resources, I'm going to go ahead and use the aluminum brass. Now, in order to do this, it's going to be 3 aluminum ingots and 1 copper ingot. You're going to smelt those together. You're going to end up getting 4 aluminum brass ingots out of it. Alright, so what we're going to do with this is you come over to the controller, and you can put the regular ore in here too. And if you put ore in here, you'll get the equivalent of 2 ingots out of it. I just had processed this through the other method already, so we're just going to go ahead and dump that in here. And you can see this little indicator here is going to show this is the smelting progress. It actually smelts each piece individually. And I'm not sure, I haven't looked it up recently to find out if the numbers are out there somewhere, but I don't know how much it takes to perform each operation. And obviously you can see the aluminum is smelting down much quicker than the copper is. So we're just going to give this a minute. It is going to turn all this aluminum into the molten aluminum. And then over time, when these finally melt, it'll add the copper to it, and that's going to turn it into the aluminum brass. Well, now it says I got all this lava in there. That's excellent. Alright, now in order to pour the cast, we need to pour it around something. I like to use flint. Pretty much can use... Actually, I got a ton of wood. Let's check it with wood. I believe some of the items you cannot use wood for, but most of them I think you can. Alright, I really want to make the lumber axe. So I know for that I'm going to need the broadhead. And if I give this, and this tells you right here the material cost is 8 to make one of these. So if I throw some lumber in there, it's going to give me a broadhead axe. And you see that took 8 planks to make that. Now this, we're going to take this and just set this right in the table here. And let's see, are we smelted yet? If we look in here, you can see it's all smelted there. Click on the controller, you can see we got molten aluminum brass. We click on, right-click on the faucet, and it's going to pour this for us. And then we have a broad axe head cast. Now, if I wanted to pour the axe head right now, I would set the cast in there, right-click on the faucet, and it's going to pour out, and it's going to create that for me. But since I have all that aluminum brass in there, I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of other casts first, and then we'll continue on making this tool. Now it's time to start making this lumber axe. I'm going to go ahead and make this partially out of steel. And I told you I found a neat recipe for steel using metallurgy. It's just iron dust and manganese dust and mix it 1-to-1, and it's going to make steel, and you just bake it up. Now if we look in this materials in U-Book, it's going to show us some of the various recipes that we have. And if we look up the lumber axe, you're going to see we need a broadhead axe, the large plate, tough rod, and tough binding. Now you can make these different parts out of different materials, and depending what you make them out of can affect it in different ways. For instance, if I use obsidian, it's going to give me a reinforced trait, which means it's not going to take damage quite as often. So I definitely want to include that on one of the pieces. Now it's time to cast our axe head. Now it says it requires 8 materials. So we're going to go ahead and put the steel in here. And I don't know why I cooked the steel up, because it's got to turn around and smelt it anyway. I should have just put the dust in here. But we'll go ahead and drop the cast on here, let this smelt. Let's look at some of the other components we want to make. One of the materials you can use is blue slime. And you make these slime crystals out of 4 slimes, dirt, and sand, and cook them up. Now, the blue slime gives you a durability of 1200, but also has a handle modifier of 2 times. So, if you use a blue slime handle, it will double the durability of the main tool. So we're definitely going to do this. To make this, all we need is the tough rod pattern. We don't need a cast, and use the slime crystals. So I'm going to take 3 of them to make it, so it's not too bad at all. Now the next piece I want to make is the tough binding. Now this I want to use paper. The advantage using paper is that it gives you another modifier that you can add to your tool. So we can add extra sharpness, or whatever we want. Durability is really low and everything like that, so making a handle out of it really doesn't make any sense, but we'll go ahead and make the binding. And it uses 3, but it's not 3 pieces of paper, it's 3 stacks of paper, and I believe a stack is only 2 sheets, so it's not too bad. Now let's start our assembly and see where we're at. We're going to choose the lumber axe, and then go ahead and start placing the parts. We'll put the tool rod in and the binding, and now we need to pour our axe head. So you see the steel is smelted, so we're going to go ahead and pour this in. And the next thing we need to do is make the plate, and this is we're going to make out of obsidian. Now each piece of obsidian is going to give us 2 ingots. We need 8 for this, so we're going to drop 4 in here. Let's grab the axe head and go ahead and put the plate in here. Let that smelt down. Now go ahead and drop the axe in our pattern, or the axe head. Where did I put it? And there it is. Now I mentioned that things like the paper binding will give us extra modifiers. So I want to grab some items right now that we can use to put some modifiers on this lumber axe. Now the first thing I'm going to want is some redstone. We got that right here. Now one modifier will use 50 redstone, so I'm going to grab 2 stacks of this. And the next thing I want is this moss stone. Now this we're going to put in the crafting grid, and 9 of them in the crafting grid. It's going to make a ball of moss. Let's go ahead and convert all of this over. And the ball of moss is nice because it's going to add a repair function. So the axe will auto repair on its own over time. It actually works better if it's outside in the sun, but even like inside down in a cave, it's still going to work and repair over time. And just give this obsidian a moment to smelt down, and then we'll grab it. Okay, the obsidian is done. Let's pour that out and grab this plate. Now let's go ahead and add this to our tool, and there we go, a nice lumber axe with reinforced 3, 2700 durability, which is amazing. And I've got 4 modifiers I can place on this, which is going to be pretty cool. Not going to use them all at this time, but we will, build it up as we go along. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to add the redstone. So let's go ahead and convert these into redstone blocks, just to make it a lot easier to place them. And there are 9 each, so probably didn't want to make that many of them, but by using blocks it goes much quicker, and you can see you can add 2 of them at one time. So 5 blocks is going to get me pretty close. I still need 5 individual pieces, which of course I don't have. Let's go ahead and grab some more. And 4 more pieces ought to finish this. Now that makes only 2 more. There we go. That puts 50 on there, and that counts as 1. Now that has increased the mining speed a little bit, but I can go ahead and put another batch of these on here as a second modifier and make it even faster than it was before. So again, 5 blocks, and then I'll need 5 more individual pieces. Let's go ahead and pop these on here, and there we go. Now the mining speed or working speed has increased nicely. Put the moss on here, and that's going to give us repair. So it's going to auto repair itself. It's got the reinforced, so it's not going to take as much damage as we use it, and it's got the redstone on it for speed, so it's going to work a lot quicker. Now let's make it daytime, and I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, make a little bit of inventory space here because these trees are going to come down quick. And this is one of my favorite tools for being able to get trees down and everything, because it works from the bottom up. And you can see it takes the entire tree down from the bottom up. It looks up, scans for any leaf blocks connected to the tree within a certain range, and once if it finds that, then it just takes the whole thing down. Now if it doesn't find any leaf blocks up there, it's just going to take down like it's like a 3 by 3 by 2 or 3 deep space, section of tree. But as you can see, this makes cutting trees down such quick work. It's absolutely amazing. And with that, I think this is a good point to end the episode. So I am PC Wizard. Thanks for watching.